Well, it was another thriller between the Riders and Stampeders. I don't even know what to say about this game. It was absolutely insane. They had an overtime thriller earlier in the season, and this one had a fourth quarter for the ages.
You know, it was the best game offensively for the Calgary Stampeders. Jake Mayer put over 300 yards on the board, and he got Hakunavano and guys going. But this came down to the wire, and Mason Fine in the game at the end in the fourth quarter because of the injury to Trevor Harris. They get the Hail Mary when they were down by 6, and they get the extra point to go up by a point with just 40 seconds left in the game. And with the Calgary Stampeders feeling like they were in control, they had to get 40 seconds into field goal range. Hakunavano, who had a huge game with 94 yards and a touchdown with a key catch, and then Rene Paredes from 50 yards out ends it. 2-point win for the Calgary Stampeders, and man, they needed it.
Just an absolute roller coaster of a football game, and the quarterback, Jake Mayer, excellent game. Huge first half, clutch late. He caught up with our Britt Dort.
Well, Jake, given how the last game went against this team, how does it feel after a very up and down game to be on the other side and the win this time?
I'm just so proud that we did it together. We try to be as resilient as we can. We've learned the hard way throughout the year already. It's just good to be on the other side of this. You know, it doesn't take anything away from what they did. They battled. They played great at the end of the game. We just had the ball at the end, man. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. And yeah, it's just great that we did it together.
Well, you threw for over 300 yards tonight. You were able to get that offense rolling. So what can you say about these guys around you?
I told you before, we were craving something like this. We really needed it for our confidence, momentum. But it's just one game. But it's a game that we're never going to forget. And like I said, we're just happy we're on the right side of it.
Well, I just saw Hauser come over. He was so excited for you. So also your defense, the way they were able to keep you in this game, especially with that final drive from the Riders, you guys come back and answer. What can you say about them?
They've had our back all year, and they've played championship-level football all year. It's really been the offensive side of the ball that hasn't held up their end of the bargain. So, things happen, man. Like, man, I don't know. I'm not a super believer in luck or fortune or whatever, but, the ball just bounced his way, man. Guy was in position. He just made the play, and he scored. But it's just good that, as an offense, again, stay resilient. The game's not over, especially in this league. You learn that all the time. So it was just good that we did it together.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jake Mayer took great accountability for the first part of the season this week and said they had to have that big breakout game. He certainly did. 26 of 37, 315 yards, the 2 touchdowns. He hit Hakunavano early in the game in the first half on a deep ball down the sideline. As I mentioned, Hakunavano with 94 yards and a touchdown. That really opened things up and gave him confidence. It was their best game for sure.
Now, lost in the shuffle was history being made tonight. Mario Alford, for just the 10th time in CFL history, he returned 2 punts.
Yeah, just incredible. The first half, he returns one, 66 yards, and really created this return on his own. We have some dynamic kick returners in the Canadian Football League, and he is at the top of the list. Mario Alford gets this 66-yarder and keeps Saskatchewan, whose offense at that point was struggling a little bit, in the game. And then at halftime, talks to Britt on the sideline and says, I'm going to get more points in the second half. Walks it like he talks it and goes 92 yards in the second half for his second punt return touchdown of the game, and the 10th player in history to do it, as you mentioned.
Just a remarkable night of football, but it wasn't all good, as we saw Trevor Harris injured, trying to run for a first down, almost got it, got twisted up and had to be carted off the field. That was really tough to watch.
Yeah, we won't speculate on the injury. It was really tough. He was taken off in the cart. He'll be examined over the next couple of days. We'll get more news, I'm sure, in the next 48 to 72 hours. I think everyone in the country has their fingers crossed that it won't be as bad as it looked. We're thinking about Trevor Harris. Hope he recovers quickly. But, yeah, he left the game, and Mason Fine took over.
So the Riders win game 1 in overtime. The Stampeders walk off the second meeting with a Rene Paredes 50-yarder. And we have to wait until October for their third meeting. But it'll be great.